All right, so good morning, guys. I just wanted to start off by asking a real quick question. By a show of hands, and hopefully there's a lot of hands, how many of you used soap this morning? I think that's just about everyone. Okay, if you used soap this morning, chances are you used an ingredient that came from Sumatra, Indonesia. So thank you. Sumatra, Indonesia is a beautiful and very diverse island that has a lot of different resources that we use in our day-to-day life. However, the farming for these resources is starting to cause environmental problems in Sumatra, and as one of the last intact forests in Southeast Asia, that's a big problem. Not only is the topography of Sumatra very diverse, the actual inhabitants of it are very diverse. There's over 15,000 different plant species in Sumatra, according to the World Wildlife Foundation. And since 1996, there have actually been 50 that have been discovered completely and utterly new to science. As well for animals, Sumatra is the only place on Earth in wild where orangutans, tigers, elephants, and rhinos live together. As for the resources that Sumatra has, a lot of them we use in our day-to-day life. I know this is kind of a recurring theme, but a lot of coffee comes from Sumatra. Starbucks actually has a blend of coffee solely from Sumatra. As well as wood, hardwoods come from Sumatra. There is a large lumber industry there. And as well for your soap, palm oil. Palm oil is an ingredient you can find in most shampoos, cosmetics, cleansing agents and detergents, pizza dough, packaged breads, cookie dough, chocolate, and ice cream. All of these resources have to be harvested, obviously, and that can cause a lot of strain on the environment as well as overpopulation. The Population Reference Bureau estimates over 50 million people live in Sumatra, making it the 6th most populated island in the world. And this is starting to put a huge strain on the indigenous people there who are trying to just live off the land and are having all these outsiders coming in and impacting them. Also, deforestation due to coffee cultivation and palm oil plantations is encroaching on natural habitats there. NASA conducted a study between 1990 and 2005 on the countries that had the most amount of deforestation in the world, and racking up in number 2 right behind Brazil was Indonesia. And it had over 30 million hectares of land that was cut, which is equivalent to about 74 million acres, or about 3/4 the size of California in 15 years. David Gabo of the Indonesian Wildlife Conservation Society and some of his colleagues wrote a journal trying to assess how well protected areas that are regulating logging in Sumatra are actually working. And while there was a slight percentage decrease in these protected areas of actual trees cut down, there was still a large percentage of forest that was removed, as well as there's a lot of illegal logging that they can't necessarily regulate. Another problem with these plantations is the routes that people use to get to them make it easier for people who are poachers or illegal hunters to get to their prey. If you were to go to the World Wildlife Foundation's page, they have a link to an endangered species list. And on that list, there are 17 animals considered critically endangered on the brink of extinction. And 4 out of the 17 are only found and very native to Sumatra. And that's the Sumatran orangutan, tiger, elephant, and rhino. That's what I said earlier is the only country in the world that has those 4 animals living together. And they're all in the critically endangered list. There's only a couple hundred rhinos left. Another problem, not only with the people who live in Sumatra in itself, but in the whole world, is while Sumatra only accounts for 3% of the forest cover in the world, they're racking up over 1/3 of the carbon emissions in the world, according also to the World Wildlife Foundation. And this is a huge problem in today's world where we're so worried about our carbon footprints. And yeah, we still need these resources. People still need wood every single day. Palm oil is such an important ingredient in so many different things, and no one's giving up their coffee. Sumatra is a very diverse place, like I said. It's one of the last intact Southeast Asian forests with a whole lot of resources that we use in our day-to-day life. However, these resources are causing a lot of danger and threats to the people who live there and to our world through overcultivation, illegal logging, and